see as the future, the next 5 years, let's say? You know,
in research,
in market research.
I think it's going to be a period of constant evolution. Actually, I think it is a time where we're going to see a much broader skill set having to be brought to bear on the work that we do.
Even if you're doing things on a big scale, you have to be more boutique-like and improvisatory. You have to pick up new tools. You have to move very fast. Things change so quickly that you can't. It's much more difficult to template stuff and industrialize it. So that is happening, of course, but it's just a fascinating time.
Well, the future of market research is possibly we're going to disappear. Possibly we're going to expand massively. We've got this challenge about taking over business intelligence. I don't think market researchers have grasped that business intelligence is much, much bigger than us. It's the ant and the mountain. So if we're successful, it's going to be phenomenal fun, because we're going to take over these big, big areas. Alternatively, people like you and I are going to go into that business and be successful, and maybe the industry won't.
Well, we're hearing an awful lot of what I would call data fetishism again going on. You know, I remember, when would it have been? Late 90s, that it was information, and then suddenly, lo and behold, we were in the age of storytelling, which I think was a very wise move, because people twigged that information was just zeros and ones, you know, not getting us anywhere, data glut. And it's the cycle of data fetishization is very interesting, because it kind of feels like we're back there again now, and what we're hearing about is that there's no more need for interpretation, no more need for research, that the data falls off the trees into the lap of the client, and we are once again in this loop.
The business knowledge of your clients. So if you're working, your clients in the hotel industry, you got to know about the hotel business. So when you saw the data, you can add the business background, add the insight, you know, to interpret the number. You know, I think most of the agency or the consultant, they lack of very deep knowledge of the business background. They may be very good in very across the board, but you know, on focusing on a specific industry, they need to work a little bit harder and get that, you know, very solid background.
I think the future is more towards collaboration. I see the market research is a bubble that it's breaking up, and it's starting to permeate many other disciplines, such as marketing, advertising, service design, product design, branding. So it's actually collaborating more and more with many different areas inside the organizations, and that's where I see the market research is heading towards.
The agency that kind of comes up with a kind of a trend streaming or an insight stream based on people's observations, you know, sort of fitting. Everybody's got mobile phones now. JP Morgan say that within 5 years more people will be accessing the web from mobile devices than PCs, then actually using this as a research tool to do sort of mass ethnography, to get people to track trends, to spot ideas. And I think that's going to be the future, but not the kind of survey, what do you think about this, what do you think is going to be the future? Let them show it rather than say it.
Well, I think what's interesting is a lot of the talk about research transformation has really focused around the whole consumer-centric end. So it's all about co-creation, social media, listening, and all those sorts of things. But I think there's actually an equal and perhaps more hidden revolution going on at the other end. There's almost what you like to call the testing end. And if you like, I think at that consumer-centric end, there's a lot of talk about how the manufacturers have to let go of their content and cooperate with consumers. But at the other end, I think they probably know more about consumers and what they do than they ever have in the past. There's so many more opportunities to find out what really motivates them. They've got behavioural tracking now, for example, so they know exactly what they do online. So it's very interesting. It's all swings and balances to an extent, I think.
So, well, the future of market research, honestly, for me, it could be around, for sure, new methodologies, which are coming out. Not maybe so new for you, but well, for us, start to do using online as well for qualitative, it started to be something very, very interesting. So online communities, we start to use a lot, creating this, let's say, panel of loyalist consumer that we can always reach. So that's something that we are setting up, and I think is going to be very, very interesting for us in the future, and we will use it more and more. We need still to tweak a little bit how to use them, but I think that this for sure is going to be very interesting.
I think honestly that we have a wonderful future ahead of us, because I love all these new methodologies to come up, which are new methodologies. Some of them are really new, and some of them are, you know, what we probably have known several years already before. But I think it really opens the opportunity to talk to really difficult target groups. We can do, for every budget I have a methodology in place. For every scenario you can think of, we have a methodology which is the right one. I think we as researchers unfortunately have the tendency, given that we do work a lot with scales and winners and losers, that we always say, you know, this is the topic of the year, this is the winner and this is the loser. I think we sometimes forget that, you know, all of these methodologies, they have you know, the right time and the right place, and this is so wonderful, because there are so many things out there currently that you really have the right methodology for every question. So you can, even you as a research company, you can open up for new customers, I believe. The problem though is that there are only a few researchers out there who know all of these methodologies.
Oh, I think it's hard to pinpoint one thing as a methodology, but I think if I had to sum something up, it would be the vibrancy of the industry. I really love the fact that, for me, this is where the excitement is, having been in advertising and marketing. I think research has got a lot to offer for the future, and a lot of new agencies and new people coming through that are going to make it a very exciting place to be.
Good God. You're not actually saying that market research could become sexy?
Yes.
No.